welcome all there, all you fans in the VWE universe. I am Chrystos, your host for the second edition of VWE Insider. And today's show, we are going to be in for a real treat. I have the one, the only, the always boisterous, always self-confident, and loud, and someone who is never at a loss for words. He is the current United States champion and the German sensation, Loody Graves. Welcome, Loody, to the show.
Hello there, Chrystos. Yes, it's true. It's me, the German sensation, Loody Graves, the VWE United States champion. That is true.
Well, first of all, I do want to say thank you for coming on the show, and congratulations on winning the VWE United States Championship last week at Old School.
Thank you. I'm actually very happy to have this championship, and it made me a Grand Slam champion. So I'm a Grand Slam champion, Hall of Famer, Golden Rope Award winner, and overall awesome guy.
Yes. Well, we will talk about your victory a little later in the show. I will ask you about that. But, I want to start off the VW Insider Show today just getting to know Loody Graves a little bit. So, you've been in SL Wrestling for a very long time, probably since the beginning. You're probably one of the originals who were in SL Wrestling from the beginning.
It depends how you define original. So, but maybe not. I don't know. What's your question?
Well, my question is, where did the passion for wrestling come from?
Oh boy. I am a wrestling fan since I'm 3 years old. Professional wrestling. In Germany, where I grew up, that's where I'm the German sensation, by the way. I am legitimate German. The only thing that you could see on television or the VHS tapes were WWF, the World Wrestling Federation. So I saw Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair when he was in WWF. I saw Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Undertaker. These are the people that I watched. The Ultimate Warrior, of course. These were the people that drew me into professional wrestling. That I remember when I was 3 years old, my dad was watching WrestleMania 3 on VHS. And I remember watching Hulk Hogan against Andre the Giant, and I'm also mesmerized by this match that I wanted to see more of Hogan and, of course, Andre and other wrestlers. Glad my dad was a wrestling fan, my mom was a wrestling fan, so I had a constant supply of wrestling tapes in my house, so even when I was a little boy or 3 years old. So that's where my passion came about from wrestling, seeing Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant, the WrestleMania 3 mega pay-per-view main event. That hooked me. That got me into pro wrestling.
So your passion was ingrained in you from a very early beginning, obviously 3 years old.
Yes.
So now that you had the passion in you, how did you get your start in wrestling?
I always wanted to be I wanted to be a professional wrestler, since that age, but, environment, and I couldn't do it, about health-wise, and, stuff happened, but I wanted to do it, and here in this virtual environment, you can do whatever you want, right? So, as soon as I saw that you could do it here, I applied for, back then, the only place around, and it took me 4 months to get in. So, but that is a long story. But long story short, because my English wasn't as good as it is right now, the owner of the place said, well, the guy who was running the application process said that, what the fuck do we want to do with him? His English is shit. Why should we take him? And the actual owner of the place said, well, give him a chance. Maybe he can do something. Maybe he will be a good, job guy or whatever, right? Just let him do something, right? Who are we to deny him his fun? And that was the beginning of the end. For many, many, many things. But it was definitely the start of my wrestling career. I would have been fine with just being a referee or whatever, because I am a certified referee in Germany. But so I know my stuff in that regard. However, I wanted to be in the ring, and I never knew if I would become the person that I am right now, or the wrestler that I am right now. All I knew is I want to do it, I want to do it good, and I want to be a student of the game. So that's when I really watched a lot of wrestling tapes and old school wrestling tapes, and I watched the best of Bret the Hitman Hart VHS when I was a child, up and down until the whole VHS was broke. So I want to be, the best I can, and that's where I started, in that one place that was the only game in town. And now look, we have the biggest promotion out there, VWE, and I'm here, co-founder and all. So I think I did pretty good, yeah. So did that answer your question there, Chrystos?
No, it definitely answered the question, and I would agree with you. I think you did pretty good for yourself over the last decade.
10 years.
10 years. 10
years. I am in this, and I'm wrestling for 9.5. So
yeah.
I'm one of the longest running in this industry. So yeah.
So if you could remember back when you first started in SL Wrestling, who, or were there multiple people, who trained you? Who trained the German sensation?
Who didn't train me back then? There were people like Misaki Yamako, believe it or not. She was there. She is actually in this for a little bit longer than me, but she was a trainer back then already. Kitty trained me. Derek Holt trained me over there. He was there too, and he trained me for a hot coffee until the management decided, we don't want Derek to train new people, and they fired him over that, which is stupid, but okay. So there were many people involved in my initial training. It took me about 2 months to get out there. In my first match, I never had a match in that promotion. So I had a match somewhere else in a friend's promotion back then, and that match, oh boy, it was quite something. Let me tell you that. It's light years apart from now that I do, and light years apart. So a lot of people trained me, but my real initial training started after I went out of the training camp, out of the training school. That's when I really started to get my matches, learn my craft, go out there and wrestle everywhere. I was a wrestling whore. So I went to every promotion out there, everything. And that's where I learned, that's where I met people like Derek Cole, Breckman Wilder, Sam the Man, Stuart Wharf, Zurich, Jen Parkin, all those legendary people, because HKWF, that's when we went over there, when I wrestled there, and, we found people that like Tony the Tiger, and all these places I went to, there was a time when I had, 6, 7, 8, or 10 matches a week. So I wrestled sometimes 2 or 3 matches a day in different places. So I was everywhere. And, that was my real training. But people who showed me the ropes were Derek Holt, Misaki Yamako, then Kitty from that place, and others. So, but these were the 3 that really gave me the rub, basically. Get in there, this is how you do it, this is how you wrestle, there you go.
So obviously you're one of the most decorated wrestlers in SL wrestling history. You mentioned you did mention you're a Grand Slam winner and everything. So, where does the name Loody Graves come from? Is that your actual name, or how did you come up with Loody, first of all, and put Graves at the end? How did you come up with that?
You have to remember, I don't know if you've been around that or not, but back then when you made your character, they gave you predetermined surnames. And
Mhm.
so the Graves, just because it sounded the coolest, right? If everything would have been different, I would have maybe called Loody Smith or Loody Van Lederhosen or shit like that, right? Depending, because back then when I started, you couldn't choose your last name like you can now. So
Yeah.
you just took what you were given. Loody, on the other hand, is a name that I had when I was playing video games, somewhat competitive and like multi-gaming clans and all that crap. When it really started in like 1999, 2001, 2002, 2003. That's when my name was Bloody. But some administrators said that's not a cool name, so whatever. I don't give a crap. Then I was playing a quiz game with a few of my friends on the PlayStation 2. Yes, the PlayStation 2, folks. And I wanted to type in Bloody, but I forgot the B, so now we have Loody. It's not a cool story, I know, but it's something that stuck. So, I'm like, hey, Loody Graves, there you go, boom, done. I didn't even know I would wrestle. I just, I didn't even really care about the game in the beginning. So after a year I came in, I made my account, I came in a year later, oh yeah, Loody Graves, okay. So that's basically the whole story about Loody Graves, and no, it's not my real name. But at the beginning it wasn't, now it is, because why not? Right?
Well, I always wanted to know where the hell the name Loody came from, because that's not like a word or a name that you really ever hear. So the fact that you explained it now,
that's more like it's a chain of coincidences and, a lot of bullshittery. So that's where basically it came from. So there you go. That's your answer right there.
now getting to know you a little bit more, you have the whole awesome angle.
Damn right.
You can't go, I think, a conversation without saying the word awesome maybe 20 times. So you say it so much. How did that develop? Where did it come from that you were just going to be awesome?
Honestly, I have no fucking idea. I one time was like, hey, because of my German heritage, we have a different word for that. And awesome doesn't translate really well into German. But I wanted to find a synonym for that word that we use a lot. It's geil, basically. It's geil. That is basically a awesome, amazing, tremendous, or in a different word, it's horny. So, but in a different context, it's more awesome. So I was looking at what could be the word, and then, well, I'm awesome. And then, well, hold on, I'm fucking awesome. There you go, there you have it. It's more like, I want to find a solution for this problem. Oh, there it is. It's called awesome. And I am the German sensation Loody Graves, and I am fucking awesome. I'm the United States champion, Grand Slam champion. I am the four-time World Heavyweight champion. I am a Hall of Famer, Gold Rope Award winner, Hardcore champion, Tag Team champion, and overall awesome guy. So, there you have it.
So, in the first, I guess, rendition of Loody Graves that VWE and XWA had before you left, you were an accomplished wrestler. You were a tag team champion. You were a 4-time world heavyweight champion. Why did you leave VWE? What made you leave?
It was a creative dispute. I didn't like the way some things went. And even though, I can look past that if there's a reason for it. And there wasn't. That was stupid, it was ridiculous, it was a storyline that went on that was offensive to me, right, and a dear friend of mine. And so I was like, you know what, fuck that shit. And we both left. And we, that's why we left. Because we were heavily against that storyline that went going on at that time. One of the storylines. And we tried to hash it out, but we basically got told, fuck off. So we did. We fucked off. And did our own little thing for a while. So that's why we left. We tried to resolve it. It couldn't be resolved. We should have stuck it out a little bit, and then we could have found out that the whole storyline was going a different direction anyway. But that was a miscommunication. Miscommunication. If we would have been told, guys, what the fuck? It's no big deal because this is gonna happen. Oh, okay. But it didn't happen that way. But we all talked it out. It's all good. There's no hatred. It's all water under the bridge. It's so long ago that it's actually, in hindsight, it's ridiculous. I look back at it and I'm like, what the fuck were we doing? But hey, it's part of our history, and we moved on and we went on, and that's what we did. So yeah, that's why we left, I left because I thought that the shit that was going on wasn't cool. And I tried to change it. Some people could have told me that it was different anyway. So, well, it happens. That's stupid. So, yeah, that's what happened. So, next question, please.
Do you think you're easy to work with?
Yes, I am. I think... okay. Am I going to take everything you throw at me? No. I will question a lot of stuff that you tell me or ask me or want me to do. Because I learned one thing, take pride in your work. Take pride in what you do. And I take a lot of pride in my wrestling, my promos, and everything that I do. Otherwise, why should I do it? If I just want to do some half-ass bullshit, I would play WWE 2K18 right now. Right? Then I can do whatever I like. But here, it's more the experience of something I can't do in real life. So, I'm doing it, and I love it, and I want to do it right. So, yeah, that's basically, that's it, yeah. There you go.
Now, while you were away from VWE, you partook in a couple of different activities. One was you were co-owner of a Fed. What kind of pressures do you feel while you're in that position as a co-owner or owner of a Fed? Like, what is the difference between being a wrestler and being an owner, a booker?
Well, first of all, as a wrestler, you only have to worry about you and the angle that you're running, right? You don't really have to worry about what the guy next to you does in his storyline or what's going on over there. You just do your stuff, and that's basically that. If you want to boil it down to the core, you're a wrestler. You get out there, you do your 15 minutes or 20 minutes, and then you're gone, right? Then you go backstage, you get in your car, and you drive home, and you do whatever, right? As an owner booker, you have a lot more of way a lot more stuff that you have to worry about, right? Like, you have to book the shows. You have to talk to the wrestlers. You have to talk to venues that you want to do house shows at. You want to do, you have to talk to the production so that the videos play, the videos have to be done, the promos have to be taped, everything. You want to talk to the guys who live stream you, if we had that back then, we had the live stream. That, then you have to write, when you have a live stream, you have to write the show format. You have to time it all out. You have to book basically 6 months in advance so you know what you're doing. You have to get your key people in place. You have to take a lot of responsibility. And if you're also a wrestler, then you have to worry that you don't put yourself out there too much, so otherwise the wrestler's gonna bitch. And people, you do it. Don't tell me that you don't. Rightful, maybe. Sometimes rightful, right? Sometimes not. Then, you have to be, okay, you have to pamper your champions. You have to cater to them a little bit. You have to talk to the people. You basically, you are in a 24/7 daycare center, and you're running that whole fucking thing. And it's worth it, though. Right? It's worth it, because at the end of the day, when you have a packed house, you go out there, the fans are going crazy, the wrestlers are having a great time, and the stuff gets out there, and everything is working great. Then you sit down at the end of the day, and you're like, okay, it was worth it. But you work countless hours, 12 hours, 13, 14 hours, if if you're lucky to get that much sleep. Being a booker, owner, is not that easy, and many people have seen that that being an owner or booker is hard. It's difficult. But if you have faith in you and you have the balls to do it, you should do it. But always have your fans in mind too. Have your fans in mind and have the wrestlers in mind, and your vision that you want to do. A lot of people don't have a vision. They don't know what they don't know what they're gonna do tomorrow if they have a show, and that you can't do. And man, I can talk to you about this for hours and hours. But being a booker or an owner of a promotion is hard work. But with the right people in place, it can be quite enjoyable. So I've been on both fences where I was stressed out, and then at one time, everything went well, and that's it basically. If you want to do it right. If you don't want to do it, stay the fuck away from it and be a wrestler. Nobody will fault you for it. That's basically what I have to say about that.
Well, speaking of hard work, no pun intended, the other sort of activities that you partook in while you were away, while you were away from VWE the first time, was you starred in an infamous pornography movie. I just gotta say, is it more satisfying to be a VW wrestler, or a wrestler in general, or a porn star?
A, I did it because I could. And B, I did it because I could. And C, I did it because I knew it would get a rise out of people. And it did. The fact that people still talk about it, and I've done that years ago, right? People maybe still remember the double rainbow, but everyone really remembers the whole, the visit, okay? Everyone still remembers that. And many, many people said I ruined Killer's Whisper for them, which is hilarious in my eyes, but oh my. But I did it because I could. And is it more satisfying? If you ask me if it's more satisfying to be a wrestler or a porn star, let me tell you that you get the equal amount of pussy. So that's what basically that what it comes down to, right? There you go.
Well, then I gotta ask: are there any plans for the visit too?
I'm contractually obligated to say that I will not engage in any pornographic activities anymore, as long as I'm in VWE. Thank you, Stuart.
Well, so if you weren't in VW, there might be a chance.
Maybe not. I don't know. I mean, I have a girlfriend now. Maybe she wants to join. But hey, right now I would say no. So right now I'm saying no. But I'm good with VWE. It's okay.
Well, let's just touch on Stuart Wharf for a moment. When you were coming back or trying to come back last year, he did not make things easy for you. He was basically trying to find any way for you not to come back to VWE. But at the same time, you were talking about how running a Fed and owning one and stuff like that, it's hard work, and you got to make sure you know who you're employing. And obviously, we all know Loody Graves. Why, first of all, did you want to come back to VWE? And did you expect the resistance from Stuart Wharf when you wanted to come back?
I kind of have to correct you on this one. There was no real... he wanted me to come back. He wanted me to come back, and I told him that I wanted to come back a month or so before he actually said, well, okay. It's not easy for Stuart. Definitely, it's not easy for Stuart. I know how he feels like, and I can understand why he was hesitant at first, but then I am one of the biggest wrestlers that VW ever produced. And I still can do it. I think I've proven people that I can still get out there and do my thing and do my job, right? Get out there, be a wrestler, promote myself, wrestle, talk, and get the people to see my matches, right? And, in the meantime, producing great matches. So, and Stu knows that. Stu knew that. And he saw the opportunity to get me back. And I came back with the stuff that we did, to give me a big comeback and a big splash to get the momentum to go to Wrestle Series against Kurt. And that was something I wanted to do. And Kurt was on it. I was on board for it. Stu was on board for it. So why not do it? There was no real, I don't want to have Loody in this fed. That was more like, how am I going to get him in here? That makes sense. So,
well, then just refresh our memory. That match with Kurt Bombastic at Wrestle Series 8 last year, if you were the victor or if you were the loser, what was the stipulation on the line?
Well, I was the victor, so it was basically, if I lose, I would never come back into the VWE. No contracts out of wrestling, basically. Because I basically could have been like, okay, I retire, I go to, then I could have done my porn. Right? But it was actually the stipulation, if I win, I get a VW contract. A fixed contract. Which, Stu has to give me a new one, pretty soon, because my contract is due after Wrestle Series. So, he has to sign me another contract for a year. And I'm the United States champion, and I'm pretty sure after Wrestle Series, I'm gonna be United States champion. Or, I'm going to be still United States champion, so he has to sign me a contract. Stu, I know you're watching this. You have to sign me a contract, Stu. You better get your paperwork done. Anyway, so if I would have lost that match, I would have been out of wrestling. But I won. I'm here, United States champion, so you know how that went.
So my question is, if Stuart wanted you back in the Fed so much, why even have that stipulation? Why not just sign you to a contract? Why say...
Kurt had his word in it. Kurt had his fucking word in it. He's like, I hate Loody. I don't want him here. Loody is a has-been. Loody is a motherfucker, this and that. I'm like, yeah, maybe I am one of these two things, but I'm definitely not a has-been. So, but here's the thing. It's, Kurt didn't want me in there because he knows that I am a threat to his, to his livelihood. That I can easily get in there and do my thing, and then people are like, Kurt? What? So, but we had this match at Wrestle Series, and I won, he didn't, but then we had a match afterwards, which, blatantly cheating, he won. Anyway, but I'm here, and I'm here to stay. Haha, even though I was a little bit sick, I wasn't feeling so well for 3 months, so I had to, take an absence, or leave of absence. But, I'm here. I'm not gonna go anywhere. So, I still have over 2 months on my contract, so here I am. So, Kurt was threatened, and that's why he wanted Stu to put that stipulation in the contract, otherwise Kurt would not have wrestled me. Basically, he bullied himself into a match.
So, well, you had some strong words for Kurt there. Who's one wrestler you would rather not work with again, and why?
The Eliminator, Seth Cameron. We have, he was in for a cup of coffee, okay? And I know why he's not there anymore. And I agree, he has to do what he has to do. But I take him all on. I'm the United States champion. I have to defend my championship regardless. So, bring him in, and I'm going to take him out. But right now, the one that I don't, there's not really anyone I wouldn't like to wrestle. Because anyone I beat, I beat. So therefore it makes me more awesome, which I am already on a very high level of awesomeness, if you ask me. And you know it. So, everyone I beat. So, yeah.
So, on the flip side, who's been your favorite person to work with in the ring throughout your whole career?
Oh boy. I wrestled almost everyone under the sun. I definitely enjoyed Tony the Tiger when I wrestled with him. That was fun. Tony the Tiger was always a hoot to wrestle. Bryce Kettley, the man I helped, on his way to perfection. Bregman Wilder is one guy that I really enjoyed wrestling. Sam the Man, the Eliminator, that son of a bitch. I enjoyed every match I had was good or great. Everything. Even with Kurt. Especially with Kurt. Coming back after years, right? So yeah. There's, I don't really have a favorite because that would be like, tell me your favorite child, right? So I can't give you that answer. See, even the guy in the background, I know, right? I know I can say that. Even the guy over here, the camera guy knows it. So, yeah.
Well, let's talk about the United States Championship. This is actually the first title you won back since you came back to VWE.
Yeah.
I think it's the first VWE title you've had in, 7 years, maybe?
Yeah.
7 years.
Yes.
What does it feel like to finally have VWE gold around your waist again?
Well, the championships definitely got bigger, more heavier. For some reason, I think Stu wants to compensate for something. Like, we have the heaviest championships around here. 7 pounds, that's quite heavy. But how does it feel to have a championship after so long? Being a champion is always a very interesting situation. Being a champion means that you are better than most of the people on the roster. And with me being the United States champion, guess what? A German conquered the United States. Hasn't been done before, but now it has. So, me being the United States champion proves something that, if you really want to achieve something, you can. No, yeah, I'm just better. I'm just awesome, Of course, United States. But here's the thing. I wanted to be United States champion because being the United States champion puts me above almost everyone in line for the World Championship. So I will have this championship for a while, but my ultimate goal is to be World Champion again. However, United States Champion Loody Graves has a nice ring to it. So the championships are heavy as fuck, but they look amazing. And if you see this championship around my waist, it's just simply awesome.
Now, earlier this year, you were obsessed with the whole notion of the new era and old era.
Yeah, the golden age. Don't call it the old era.
Golden
it's the golden age. Yeah,
old age, golden era, whatever. The past.
Yes, not the past. The past is the present, right? Look at me.
Past.
I am part of the present, but I'm the United States champion, so I'm part of the past and the present.
Do you still feel that the golden age is better than the new age?
Different in attitude. Definitely different in attitude. Back then, the attitude is different. Let's go out there and tear the house down. Let's go out there and do things that no one would come up. Let's go out there and have an incredible wrestling match and outdo ourselves from last week. That mentality has been a little bit lost. But there's still the fire there. I mean, you see it with people like Cody. You see it with Knight. You see it with, even though, some people take it easy. But you can ask Benja. You can ask Derek. You can ask Stewart for that regard. Right now, then something needs to happen to spark the fire. That something needs to happen. And I am here to make it happen. With me being out there, and you've been there, on last Friday, Edge, I went out there and did what I did, and what I had to do, and it was awesome. Now, the difference between then and now is the attitude has changed. Get it back, people. I'm not telling get your wrestling back. No, because it all has changed so much, right? The wrestling compared to then is 100 times better, right? But the attitude has changed. So that's your
So you say the wrestling is 100 times better, but the attitude's changed. Are you trying to say that today's wrestlers are just not as motivated as you guys were back then?
Well, if you want to go for controversy and that people are going to be like, fuck you, Loody. Yes! Some of them are not as motivated. They do amazing stuff in the ring, right? What?
Yes.
That's it, right? Like, what? Where are, I mean, a lot of the people, they go out there and, when was the last time you got in the performance center, okay? And there were two people talking and having a fight and yelling at each other, but then it was resolved. Then it was done. It was like, okay, whatever, fine. They shake hands and they laugh and they drink a beer, right? When was the last time they all go on fucking Facebook and Twitter and they, put the shit out there? That's not what you do. That's the attitude that changed, right? Like, fix your shit amongst yourselves, or go to one of the road agents and get it fixed, and that's it. I'm not running around crying, I take care of my shit. Just saying, That's
Well,
what
you
I mean.
said that
Motivation.
you said you don't run around crying, but you actually left an entire federation because you didn't agree with something. You were offended by something.
That's something else, but I didn't get on fucking Facebook or Twitter and cry about it. I just did. I just went out there and dealt with it.
You quit.
Yes, I did, because I believed in what I believed. I stand with my beliefs, and at this point, I felt it was better for me to leave. Otherwise, I would just go and just be mad and get a fucking heart attack. So I felt I had to leave. Now I'm like, hey, it's all good. It's all part of my history. Yes, I left, but I didn't go on fucking Facebook. I just went on with it. I just went on, right? That's what men do. That's what men do. But right now, attitude has changed.
So then you're now insinuating that people that go on Facebook and complain are not real men.
You just want to put words in my mouth.
I'm not. I'm just saying. I don't want controversy. I don't want anything like that. I just want the truth. And if you're speaking it, just speak it plainly.
I'm the most blunt motherfucker you will ever meet. Okay? So, you want it blunt?
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe some of them. Maybe some of them. Keyboard cards. Right?
That's all we needed to know. I do want to wrap up the interview, however. So I just want to ask, do you have any last remarks for any of the fans, wrestlers, management that you want to get off your chest or say? Now you can say it.
If you listen to my podcast, or if you see me in the ring, or whatever, I am me, okay? I am not a farce. I am not a charade. I am me. I'm Loody Graves. What you see is what you get. And that's what's missing right now. That's what's missing with a lot of stuff. Stop with the snowflakes. Be yourself. Be a fucking person. And if there's some shit in your life, take it and move on. Right? I've been gone for 7 years. I've done my shit. I've done my stuff. I went out and I did it, and I'm proud of myself. Am I looking back and regret anything? Fuck no. I did porn, and I'm proud of it. You should be too. Not that I did porn, but you should be proud of you too. Just go out there, be yourselves, be awesome. Well, you won't be as awesome as me, but you can try. I could teach you a lesson or two. But I love this business. Maybe more than I should. And when I see some of the stuff out there, it breaks my heart. It breaks my fucking heart. But, on the other hand, the times have changed. Attitude has changed. Get it back. Get it back, people. Okay? That's all I'm saying. I still love
Well,
this. I won't stop it. I think I will wrestle until I'm fucking 80 years old and coax in the ring. But that's all I have to say about that.
Well, I don't think anyone would disagree with you that you love wrestling and you love this business. You've been in it for a decade, so I just want to say thank you for doing everything you've done. You know, all your matches and just the person you are. You're definitely one of the most controversial characters out there. You always say what you want to say and go with whatever you want to go with. So thank you for bringing Loody Graves into us, the fans, into our lives for the last decade. And, you know, we'll see what happens in the future. I mean, you are the United States champion right now, so
Damn right.
things are looking up for you. But I wanted to also say thank you for showing up today and sitting here and talking with me,
You're welcome,
giving us a little
Chrystos.
peek.
You're welcome.
Yes,
Thank you for having
giving
me.
us a little. You're welcome. Giving us a little peek into who Loody Graves is. And yes, so thank you once again. And I want to thank all you fans out there for watching us today. And hopefully next time you join us again for another edition of VWE Insider with Chrystos. Thank you and have a good night.
And I am awesome. Bye-bye.